Hello, friends. Tonight we step into a desert of forgotten names, where the wind has been whispering a secret for over 5,000 years. The ancient sands of Egypt beckon you, inviting you to come closer, to feel the rhythm of a land where the divine and the mortal intertwine. The desert before you is vast, stretching endlessly, yet it carries within it something far greater than its silence. With every grain of sand that shifts beneath your feet, you sense the pulse of the land alive, breathing, waiting. Tonight, it offers you a place within its sacred rhythm, a space where time bends and the echoes of the past come alive. The air is warm, yet it carries a sense of stillness. The desert is quiet, but not in the way we think of quiet. It is a peaceful silence, one that holds the weight of centuries, of pharaohs, gods, and forgotten rituals. Each grain of sand is imbued with stories that have endured beyond the reach of time. As you walk, the soft whisper of the wind seems to carry with it the remnants of those stories, urging you to listen, to pay attention to the unspoken truths hidden beneath the surface. The night sky above is dark, stretching on infinitely, the stars twinkling like ancient jewels. The moon, a silver orb, casts a soft glow over the landscape, illuminating the path ahead with a mystical light. It is a light that has witnessed the rise and fall of empires, the changing of dynasties, and the passage of countless souls. The gods of Egypt watch over you, unseen but always present, their whispers carried by the wind that rustles the leaves of the palm trees. As you walk deeper into the desert, you realize that you are not just a traveler passing through a barren land. You are stepping into a world that is as old as time itself, a world where the boundaries between the divine and the mortal are blurred. Every step you take, you are walking alongside the gods, breathing in the same air they once breathed. The desert is not just a place, it is a living memory, a sacred space where time itself is still. You pause for a moment, feeling the pulse of the land beneath your feet. The stillness around you is profound, and you are reminded that you are part of something much larger, something timeless. The wind whispers, and for a brief moment, it feels as though the desert itself is breathing with you as you continue walking. You feel the temperature drop slightly, and the coolness of the night air wraps around you like a blanket. The desert is a place of contrasts. The heat of the day gives way to the cool, almost chill of the night. The land seems to exhale, its warmth fading into the stillness of the evening. The moonlight, soft and silver, bathes the desert in a tranquil glow, casting long shadows across the sand. The moon's light illuminates the path before you, guiding you through the vastness of the desert. With each step, the ancient rhythms of Egypt pulse through the air. You feel as if you are walking through a dream, a memory, a moment that stretches across time. The desert seems to shift, and you are no longer just a visitor. You are part of the landscape, part of the story that has been unfolding for millennia. In the distance, you can see the outline of an ancient monument, its silhouette as sharp against the dark sky. The wind stirs, and you feel a faint scent in the air: myrrh, incense, the fragrant smoke of offerings to the gods. It is a reminder that this land was once filled with life, with temples and rituals, with prayers whispered to the gods. The monument before you is more than just stone. It is a place where the divine and the mortal meet. You walk closer, and your fingers brush against the ancient stone, worn smooth by centuries of wind and time. The carvings on the surface tell stories of the gods, stories of creation, of the cosmos, of the forces that shape the world. You run your hand over the surface, feeling the warmth of the stone beneath your touch. Each groove, each line, is a testament to the people who once walked this land, their lives intertwined with the divine. The air is filled with the quiet hum of the desert, and you feel the weight of history settling around you. The monument is more than a structure. It is a bridge between worlds, a place where the past and the present come together. As you stand before it, you realize that you are not just an observer of history, you are a part of it, a thread in the tapestry of Egypt's ancient story. Tonight, as the moonlight bathes the desert, you are invited to uncover these secrets. In the stillness, you will hear the whispers of the past, the stories of the gods, and the pulse of a land that has witnessed the birth of civilization. The desert holds its breath, waiting for you to listen, waiting for you to hear what it has to say. You stand in the shadow of the monument, your mind filled with the weight of all that has passed here. The wind whispers through the palm trees, carrying with it the faintest sounds of ancient rituals, the chants of priests, the soft rustling of linen robes, the clinking of offerings being placed at the feet of the gods. These sounds are no longer audible to the human ear, but they remain, carried by the wind, woven into the very fabric of the desert. As you walk through the sands, you sense that you are not just walking through a physical space, you are walking through time itself. The desert is a vast memory, and you are a part of it. Every grain of sand beneath your feet holds a story of life, of worship, of connection to the divine. You feel the presence of the gods around you, not as distant figures, but as beings who are always near, always watching, always waiting for you to listen. The moon rises higher, casting its gentle light over the landscape. You pause for a moment, looking up at the stars. They seem brighter now, their light pulsing with a rhythm that matches the beating of your own heart. In this moment, you feel the connection between yourself and the divine. You are part of something much larger than yourself, part of a story that has been written across the ages, a story that continues to unfold with each breath you take. The desert, with all its ancient mysteries, has shared its breath with you tonight. It has whispered its secrets, and in return, you have listened. The gods are still with you, their presence lingering in the air, in the wind, in the sand. They are always near, always watching, always waiting for you to hear their whispers. And tonight, you have heard them. The desert stretches out before you, vast and infinite, yet within its silent embrace, you feel something powerful, something beyond the sand, beyond the stars. It's the presence of the gods, ancient and ever watchful, moving like shadows within the breeze. They are not distant figures waiting in some faraway temple. They are here, with you, beside you, watching every step you take. As you continue to walk, the air shifts. It becomes warmer, infused with a subtle energy that stirs your soul. The land, alive with the pulse of the divine, seems to vibrate with the essence of the gods. Each grain of sand beneath your feet holds the weight of millennia, and every step you take brings you closer to the heart of Egypt's sacred story. The gods, eternal and timeless, are here, and they are listening. The moon above casts its silver light, creating a path of illumination that guides you through the stillness. In this sacred land, time seems to slow. The present, the past, and the divine exist simultaneously, and you walk through them all. The desert has a way of making you feel small, insignificant even. Yet, at the same time, It draws you into its expansive embrace, making you feel part of something far larger than yourself. You stop for a moment, standing on the edge of an ancient temple, its stones weathered by the passing of countless ages. The temple, though silent, seems alive with the presence of the gods. You can almost hear the prayers whispered on the wind, the sacred chants that once filled these halls. The divine energy here is palpable, filling the air like an unseen breath, like the pulse of the land itself. It is in the way the shadows dance along the walls, in the way the wind stirs the leaves of the nearby palms, and in the way your heart beats in time with the rhythm of the earth. You close your eyes and breathe deeply, inhaling the scent of the ancient earth, the incense, the myrrh that once burned in reverence to the gods. You feel their presence around you, their energy coursing through the air, and for a moment, you are not just a visitor in this land, you are part of it. Part of the divine rhythm that pulses through the sands of Egypt. You feel connected to everything around you, as if the gods have accepted you as one of their own. As you step deeper into the temple, you are drawn to the altar. It is here, in the stillness, that the most sacred offerings are made. The priests of Egypt, devoted to the gods, would come to this very spot to present their gifts of incense, precious oils, and flowers. The gods were not distant figures, they were present, ever watchful, waiting for these offerings to be given with reverence and humility. You stand before the altar, your hands gently resting upon the cool stone. You can feel the ancient energy of the place, the weight of the rituals that have been performed here for thousands of years. The air is thick with the scent of incense, and you can almost hear the low murmur of prayers being offered in the name of the gods. The priests, clad in their linen robes, would have moved with reverence, their faces calm and serene as they performed their duties. Their actions were not just rituals, they were acts of devotion, acts that connected the divine with the mortal, bringing balance and harmony to the world. In the center of the altar, a small vessel holds the remnants of a long-forgotten offering. It is still warm, as if the gods have just received it, and you can feel the lingering presence of their divine energy. The vessel is filled with fragrant oils, their scent rising in soft tendrils of smoke that dance in the air. The incense curls upward, offering prayers to the heavens. You breathe in deeply, the smell grounding you, connecting you to the sacredness of this place. As you observe the altar, you feel a deep sense of peace settle within you. The gods, though ancient and distant in time, are still very much a part of this world. Their energy lingers in the air, in the stones, in the very fabric of Egypt itself. It is here, in the sacred temples and sacred spaces, that the divine is closest to the mortal realm. It is here that the gods listen to the prayers of their people, offering guidance, protection, and blessing in return. As you close your eyes and bow your head, you offer your own prayer. It is not a grand gesture, but a quiet one, a simple request for peace and connection. The gods, you feel, are listening. They are always near, always watching, always present. And in this moment, you are not alone. The sacred rituals of Egypt, the divine energy that flows through this land, surround you, filling you with a sense of belonging, of being part of something eternal. As you leave the altar and continue your walk through the temple, you notice the rhythm of the place, the steady pulse that seems to echo through the stones, through the walls, through the very air. This is the divine rhythm of Egypt, the heartbeat of the gods, the pulse of the land itself. It is a rhythm that has existed for thousands of years. steady and unchanging, as constant as the flow of the Nile. You walk through the temple, your feet moving in time with this divine rhythm, and you begin to feel it within yourself. The air around you seems to hum with energy, and as you breathe, you feel the pulse of the earth beneath you, steady and strong. The rhythm is not just in the stones of the temple, it is in you, in your breath, in your heartbeat. You are connected to this land, to this rhythm, in a way that is both grounding and liberating. You stop at a large fresco on the wall, depicting the gods of Egypt in all their glory. Each god is shown in vibrant color, their forms both human and divine. They are powerful, yet graceful, their eyes filled with wisdom and understanding. As you gaze at the fresco, you feel the presence of the gods surrounding you, their energy filling the space. The divine rhythm is everywhere, in every line, in every stroke of paint. The gods are watching, always present, always guiding, always part of the eternal dance. You close your eyes for a moment, allowing the rhythm of the temple to wash over you. You feel the earth beneath your feet, the wind in your hair, and the moon above you, casting its gentle light. The divine rhythm flows through you, connecting you to the past, to the gods, to everything that has ever been and ever will be. You are part of this rhythm, part of this eternal dance, and you are not alone. The gods of Egypt are not distant. They are present, always near, always watching, always waiting for you to listen. And tonight, as you walk through the temple, you hear their whispers, their guidance, their presence. You are part of the divine rhythm, part of the pulse of Egypt, and it is a peaceful, grounding, sacred connection that will stay with you always. The palace doors creak open to reveal a world steeped in splendor and tradition. The air is cool with the scent of oils and incense, filling the great halls where light flickers against the walls, casting shadows that seem to breathe with life. You step inside, and the grandeur of Egypt's royal heart surrounds you, like an ancient pulse that has never stopped beating. The palace is alive with the hum of servants, the rustle of silken robes, and the soft murmur of the courtiers' conversations. You feel the weight of history in this place, where every marble column, every intricately woven tapestry tells a story of power, of sacrifice, and of reverence. The room is rich with gold, lapis lazuli, and precious stones. Each object not merely a treasure, but a testament to the godly rule of the pharaohs. It is here, within these opulent walls, that the divine intersects with the mortal, where the gods are honored and revered by those who rule in their name. As you walk further into the heart of the palace, you come across the royal court. The pharaoh, draped in gold and the finest linen, stands at the center, regal and commanding. His presence fills the room, and you feel the power radiating from him, a power not just of mortal kingship, but of divine right. He is not just a ruler, he is the earthly representative of the gods themselves, the bridge between the divine and the human, a living testament to Egypt's sacred heritage. The courtiers around him stand in silence, their eyes lowered in respect. The air is thick with expectation, as though every moment in this sacred space is imbued with divine significance. You feel a deep reverence settle in your chest as you witness this intimate glimpse into the royal life. Here, where the gods walk alongside kings, nothing is trivial. Every glance, every word, carries weight and meaning. The rhythms of the palace are slow but deliberate. There is no rush here. Time moves in sync with the eternal, flowing like the Nile itself. The gods must be watched over, their presence honored, and the kingdom must be kept in harmony with the divine laws that govern all life. The Pharaoh's decisions are not his alone to make, they are decisions shared with the gods, whispered in prayer, and sealed with the sacred oils of the land. As you watch the Pharaoh and his court, you sense that the palace is not just a place of governance, but a temple of its own. The grand rituals of the kingdom, from the grand feasts to the solemn ceremonies, are woven into the fabric of everyday life. You see the priests moving gracefully in their white linen robes, carrying offerings to the gods with reverence. Each action, each gesture, is part of the divine plan that has been set in motion by the gods. The rituals are intricate, composed of gestures as old as the land itself. The royal court gathers for the daily offerings, and the priests perform their sacred dances. Their movements fluid and deliberate, as if they are moving in harmony with the divine rhythms of the universe. You watch as they carry fragrant incense and myrrh to the altar, their steps quiet but steady. The air grows thick with the scent of the offerings, filling your lungs with the sacred smells of Egypt's ancient temples. You watch as the Pharaoh, seated upon his throne, holds a golden scepter, not only a symbol of his rule, but a conduit for the divine. As the incense rises in the air, a hush falls over the room, and the divine presence of the gods fills the space. It is not a loud declaration, but a subtle, peaceful reminder that the Pharaoh does not rule alone. He is merely a vessel through which the gods speak. You feel the weight of this sacred trust, the understanding that the fate of Egypt and its people rests not just in the hands of the mortal king, but also in the will of the gods. The temple-like atmosphere within the palace is reverent, serene. There is no rush here, no haste. Every action, no matter how small, is done with precision and care. You observe the palace guards, standing motionless like statues, their eyes ever watchful. They are protectors, not only of the Pharaoh, but of the sacred order that the gods have set in place. You feel that even the air in this room is sacred, imbued with the presence of the divine. The gods are always near, always watching, always guiding. In the royal court, the pace of life is deliberate, as if time itself has been shaped by the divine rhythms of Egypt. The Pharaoh's day begins before the sun rises, with the sound of priests' chants filling the air, their voices rising in praise. As the sun begins its ascent over the horizon, the court awakens, bathed in the soft glow of dawn's first light. You watch as servants move silently through the palace, preparing the royal chambers for the day's duties. The Pharaoh's breakfast is a simple yet elegant affair, a quiet moment before the day's duties begin in earnest. You see the royal food laid out before him: fruits, fresh bread, and rich honey, delicacies fit for a king. He eats slowly, savoring each bite, his eyes occasionally lifting to meet those around him. It is here, in these quiet moments of reflection, that the Pharaoh finds his connection to the divine. Each morsel is a gift from the gods, a symbol of the abundance Egypt enjoys under the protection of the divine order. The royal court then proceeds with the business of the day: taxation, land disputes, and the appointment of officials. But even in these seemingly mundane affairs, the divine is present. The Pharaoh listens intently, his decisions weighed carefully. He consults with his advisors, his priests, and his family, always seeking guidance from the gods. You see him take counsel in moments of silence, his hand resting upon his scepter as if drawing strength from the divine. As the day wears on, the palace becomes a flurry of activity. Courtiers come and go, bringing messages from distant lands and matters of state. The pharaoh moves from one room to the next, his steps steady, his presence commanding. But there is a sense of peace that surrounds him, a quiet understanding that his role is sacred. He is not just a ruler, he is the living embodiment of the God's will on earth. In the evening, the royal court gathers for a feast. The air fills with the sounds of music, laughter, and the clinking of goblets. The pharaoh, surrounded by his family and courtiers, takes his place at the head of the table. The feast is not just a celebration of abundance, it is an offering to the gods, a way of giving thanks for the blessings of the day. You watch as the gods are honored in every moment, every bite, every laugh. The day ends as it began peacefully, reverently, with the divine pulse of Egypt ever present. As you stand within the sacred walls of Egypt's temples, you are invited to witness the most revered ceremonies, where the gods are honored through acts of devotion, each one a carefully choreographed dance. The flickering candlelight casts soft shadows on the stone walls, and the air is thick with the scent of myrrh and incense, sacred offerings rising like smoke to the heavens. The temple, with its towering columns and intricate carvings, is alive with the hum of divine energy. You feel it in the air, vibrating softly against your skin as though the gods themselves are present, watching, listening. The high priests and priestesses are dressed in linen robes, their movements graceful and deliberate, each step taken with reverence for the divine. A soft rhythm begins to fill the space, a slow and steady beat that calls to you, drawing you deeper into the sacred energy of the temple. The priestesses, moving in perfect harmony, begin their ceremonial dance. Their bodies sway gently, their arms raised in supplication, their feet gliding across the cool stone floor like water over smooth rocks. This is no ordinary dance. It is an offering, a living prayer that moves through the temple like a river, bringing the divine into the mortal realm. You watch as they move with such fluidity, their eyes closed in deep concentration, their every movement a symbol of devotion. The rhythm grows, not louder, but more intense, as if the very walls of the temple are beginning to pulse with the heartbeat of the gods. The ceremony is a reminder that the gods are not abstract. They are here, in this space, in these movements, in this sacred dance. You feel yourself drawn into it, your body swaying gently with the rhythm, your breath slow and steady. In the center of the temple, a large golden offering bowl is placed, filled with rich oils and fragrant flowers. The high priest, standing tall with a scepter in his hand, steps forward to present his offering to the gods. The air is thick with anticipation as the offering is placed before the altar. The gods are called upon to accept this gift, to bless the land, the people, and the pharaoh. The ceremony culminates in a moment of perfect stillness and eternal silence, as if time itself holds its breath. In the stillness of the temple, you find yourself drawn to the central altar, where the high priest prepares an offering to Ra, the sun god, the giver of life. The moment is charged with an intensity that you can feel in the air. Ra's light is the source of all life. And this offering is the most sacred act in all of Egypt. The sun, in all its brilliance, is not only a celestial body, but a deity, and the people of Egypt must honor it with every fiber of their being. The high priest, standing beneath the golden rays of the setting sun, raises his arms toward the heavens. His voice rises in a low, melodic chant, invoking the power of Ra to bless the land and its people. The people gathered around fall into a deep silence, their hearts and minds focused on the ritual that has been performed for generations. You feel the weight of their devotion, the weight of history. As the high priest speaks Ra's name, the offering to Ra is simple, yet powerful. A bowl of honey, rich and golden, symbolizing the sun's warmth, and a single lotus flower, the sacred flower of Egypt, representing life's constant rebirth. As the high priest lifts the offerings toward the sky, you see a glint of sunlight filter through the high arches of the temple. The light bathes the room in a soft, golden glow, as if Ra himself has accepted the offering. The people around you murmur in reverence, feeling the presence of the sun god in that sacred moment. The ritual continues, with the high priest dipping his hands into the honey and gently anointing the altar. He speaks softly, words of gratitude and reverence for the light that has nourished the land, that has allowed the crops to grow, that has given life to the people. The golden light fills the space, wrapping you in its warmth, and you feel a deep connection to the land, to the sun, to the divine force that gives life to everything. As the sun sets, casting its final rays over the temple, the ceremony comes to a close. The people bow their heads, offering their thanks to Ra for his eternal gift of light. The high priest steps back, his voice low and steady, and you feel the weight of the ritual linger in the air, like a blessing that continues to flow through the land, through your body, through your soul. You know that this ritual is not just for the gods, it is for the people, for the world, and for you. As the sun fades from the sky and the last traces of its golden light slip away, you find yourself drawn into the quietest part of the temple. The evening ritual, though equally sacred, is quieter, more intimate, a moment for deep communion with the divine. The air has cooled, and the flickering candles cast long shadows across the stone walls, bathing the temple in a soft, golden light. In this sacred space, the gods are not distant, they are here, waiting for you to listen. The high priests have finished their offerings, and now the people sit in silence, eyes closed, hearts open, waiting to feel the presence of the divine. This is the time for communion with the gods, the time to receive their blessings without words, without offerings, but through the quiet acceptance of their presence. You sit among the people, feeling the sacred energy of the temple surround you. The silence is profound, a stillness that holds more than mere absence. It is filled with the presence of the gods, a presence that is not loud, but deeply felt. You close your eyes and breathe deeply, allowing the calm of the temple to wash over you in this sacred moment. You are not alone. The gods are here, watching over you, guiding you, whispering to you. In the silence, you feel a sense of peace settle over you. The worries of the world seem far away, and you are enveloped in the divine energy of the temple. The connection between you and the gods is not one of rituals or offerings, but one of quiet understanding. In this sacred space, there are no barriers, no walls between the divine and the mortal. You feel the rhythm of the universe in your breath, in the beating of your heart. In the stillness of the temple, the silence stretches on, and you feel yourself becoming one with it. The world outside the temple seems distant, as though it is fading away, leaving only the presence of the divine. You are no longer just an observer of the gods' rituals. You are a part of them, a part of the eternal rhythm that flows through Egypt's sacred lands, the temple, the gods, And you are one. The grand hall of the royal palace is alive with anticipation. The tables are set with the finest dishes, each one a masterpiece of culinary art, crafted with the care and reverence due to the gods themselves. The air is thick with the scent of roasted meats, fresh fruits, and rich, fragrant herbs. The sounds of laughter and soft conversation fill the room. But there is an underlying stillness, a sense that tonight's banquet is more than just a meal. It is an offering to the gods. You step into the hall, and your eyes are drawn to the long table that stretches before you, covered in gold, silver, and exquisite pottery. The finest vessels from all corners of Egypt are displayed, their designs intricate and beautiful, each piece a reflection of the divine craft of those who created them. The food laid out before you is not merely sustenance, it is a sacred tribute to the gods, a ritual of thanks and reverence. As the guests gather, you notice the grandeur of the event. The pharaoh, seated at the head of the table, is a vision of divine authority. He is not just the ruler of Egypt, he is the living embodiment of Ra, the sun god. And the presence of the divine can be felt in every glance he offers, and in every gesture he makes. His eyes, dark and intense, reflect the weight of his divine duty, but also the joy of the feast. He is both king and god, and tonight he shares in the abundance that the gods have granted. The servants move quietly around the table, offering dishes to the guests: plump figs, tender lamb, fresh bread, and bowls of honey. Each offering is accompanied by a prayer, whispered softly by the high priests who stand at the edges of the room. These prayers are not for the guests, but for the gods, who are invited to partake in the feast through the offerings made in their honor. Each bite taken is a blessing, each sip of wine an act of reverence. As the evening wears on, the feast becomes a dance of light and shadow. The flickering candles cast long, shifting patterns across the room, as if the gods themselves are moving in the shadows. Watching over the proceedings, the people laugh and converse, but there is a deep sense of respect for the divine that hangs in the air, unspoken but always present. As you take your seat at the table, a small dish is placed before you, a simple offering of bread and honey. The bread, freshly baked and soft to the touch, is still warm, and the honey glistens golden in the dim candlelight. These are not just foods to nourish the body, they are symbols of the earth's bounty, of the divine forces that govern life and death. The bread, you realize, is a gift from the gods. It is made from the grain of the earth, the harvest that the Nile has blessed. Each loaf is shaped with care, kneaded by hands that understand the sacredness of the ritual. It is not merely food, it is a living tribute to the gods of harvest, a symbol of the abundance that Egypt enjoys under their protection. The honey, rich and golden, is another sacred offering. It is the sweet nectar of the flowers that bloom along the banks of the Nile, gathered by the bees, who are the divine messengers of the earth. The honey is more than just sweetness, it is a gift from the gods, a taste of their divine favor, and a reminder of the blessings they bestow upon the land. As you take a bite of the bread, followed by a spoonful of honey, you feel a deep connection to the earth, to the gods, to the very land that sustains you. The food is simple, yet it carries the weight of millennia. It is a reminder that all sustenance, all life, comes from the gods in this moment. You are not just a guest at a banquet, you are part of the divine cycle, a living offering to the gods who watch over you. The sounds of the feast fade into the background as you focus on the quiet act of eating. You chew slowly, savoring each bite, each taste, each moment. The bread and honey are rich with the history of Egypt, with the blessings of Ra, Isis, Osiris, and all the gods who have shaped the land. You are reminded in this moment that you are not just consuming the food, you are participating in the ritual. You are part of the divine dance that sustains life in Egypt. As the evening draws on, the mood shifts slightly. The feast becomes not just a celebration of life, but a reminder of death. In Egypt, life and death are not separate. They are two halves of the same whole, bound together by the divine forces that govern the universe. Tonight, as you sit among the royal court, you are reminded of the sacred cycle of life, death, and rebirth that the gods have created. The wine flows freely, and the laughter becomes a little louder, a little freer, but there is a sense of reverence that remains. The priests, who have offered their prayers to the gods, now sit quietly, their eyes closed in contemplation. They are not just servants of the gods, they are intermediaries, the ones who keep the balance between life and death, between the divine and the mortal. You watch as the dancers enter the hall, their movements fluid and graceful, their bodies swaying in time with the beat of the drums. The dance is not just a performance, it is a sacred offering, a way to honor the gods through movement and rhythm. The dancers move in perfect harmony, their bodies telling the story of life, death, and rebirth as they twirl and spin. You see the gods in their movements, the grace of Hathor, the power of Osiris, the wisdom of Isis. As the feast comes to a close, the room falls into a deep silence. The guests rise from their seats, their heads bowed in respect. The feast is over, but the divine energy of the evening lingers in the air, filling the room with a sense of peace and reverence. The gods have been honored, their presence felt, and their blessings received. You stand and offer a final prayer, not just for yourself, but for the land of Egypt, for the Pharaoh, for the gods who have guided this kingdom through the ages. You feel the weight of the evening settle into your bones, a quiet understanding that life, death, and rebirth are not just rituals, they are the very essence of Egypt, the heartbeat of a land that has endured for millennia. As you leave the banquet hall, the sound of the drums echoes in your mind, the rhythm of life and death playing softly in the background. The gods have accepted the offerings, and the feast has been shared. But you know that the banquet of the gods will continue, as long as Egypt stands, as long as the Nile flows, and as long as the gods remain. You find yourself in a world of quiet power, a world where women are not merely subjects, but powerful figures who shape the kingdom's future, its spirit, and its divine connection. The air in the royal court is thick with the scent of fresh flowers and incense, mingling with the soft whispers of women whose presence commands respect and reverence. You walk quietly among them, feeling their energy and strength, sensing their connection to the divine. The women of Egypt are no mere observers of history. They are active participants in its creation. You witness their presence, their dignity, and the quiet authority with which they move. Whether they are queens, priestesses, or wives of the royal court, they carry within them the essence of Egypt itself, its beauty, its wisdom, and its connection to the gods. Each of them embodies a different facet of divine power. Hathor, the goddess of love and beauty; Isis, the goddess of wisdom and magic; and Ma'at, the goddess of balance and order. These goddesses live not just in the temples, but in the hearts of the women who walk this earth. As you watch the women of the court move gracefully through the halls, you feel the weight of their sacred roles. They are not only responsible for the spiritual well-being of the land, they are the keepers of Egypt's culture and traditions. They are the teachers, the healers, and the protectors, the ones who hold the threads of life in their hands and weave them together into a harmonious whole. You are drawn to a woman standing near the royal throne, her eyes soft yet strong. She is a high priestess, a direct connection to the divine. She moves with a quiet grace, her head slightly bowed in reverence, but her posture is one of undeniable strength. Her role is to act as an intermediary between the gods and the people, ensuring that the sacred rituals are carried out with the utmost care and precision. She wears a crown of gold and lapis lazuli, her robes woven with intricate patterns that mirror the stars in the night sky. You see the power in her, not just in her outward beauty, but in the sacredness of her role as she moves toward the altar. You feel her presence become even more intense. She is not merely a woman, she is a goddess in human form, embodying the divine energy of Egypt's most powerful deities. Her actions are deliberate and calm, every movement an act of reverence and worship. She holds the sacred offerings in her hands, presenting them to the gods with a grace that transcends time. She is not only offering food and incense, but a prayer for the prosperity of Egypt, for the protection of its people, and for the continued guidance of the gods. In the royal court, the queen stands as a powerful symbol of Egypt's divine right to rule. She is more than just a consort to the king. She is a force in her own right, a ruler in her own capacity, connected to the gods through her sacred role as the mother and protector of the kingdom. You watch as the queen enters the room, her presence commanding the attention of all who are gathered. She walks with an air of authority, her robes flowing behind her like the Nile itself, ever moving, ever changing, yet steadfast and enduring. Her crown, adorned with the symbols of the gods, gleams in the candlelight, reflecting the divine power that she wields. As she approaches the throne, you feel the energy in the room shift, a sense of reverence filling the space. The queen is not just a figurehead, she is the embodiment of divine leadership, the earthly manifestation of the goddess Maat, who brings balance and order to the world. Her role in Egypt is multifaceted. She is a political leader, ensuring that the kingdom remains united and strong. She is a mother, nurturing the next generation of rulers and ensuring that Egypt's legacy endures. But she is also a spiritual leader, acting as a high priestess in her own right. You sense that her connection to the gods is deep and unbreakable, as though they speak to her in whispers that others cannot hear. Every decision she makes is not only for the good of Egypt, but also in service to the divine. You observe the respect with which the court members address her, each one, from the high priests to the nobles, bowing their heads in deference. They know that her authority is not only political, it is spiritual. The queen is a bridge between the gods and the people, a living embodiment of the sacred forces that govern Egypt's destiny. You see her interact with her advisors, her words measured but full of wisdom, her presence unwavering. She is the heart of Egypt, a symbol of its strength and resilience, a beacon of divine guidance. In the inner sanctum of the temple, the priestesses gather, their robes swishing softly as they move in perfect harmony. The priestesses are the spiritual core of Egypt, the women who hold the keys to the divine wisdom passed down through generations. You watch as they perform their sacred duties with quiet devotion, their faces serene, but filled with deep understanding. They are the keepers of Egypt's spiritual traditions, the ones who ensure that the gods are honored through rituals that have been passed down since the time of the first pharaohs. The priestesses are not just women of the temple, they are the teachers, the healers, the spiritual guides for the people of Egypt. Their wisdom mouse is not just learned from sacred texts, but from the divine connection they share with the gods. They are chosen for their purity of heart, their deep connection to the divine forces that govern the universe. Their role is to ensure that Egypt remains in balance with the gods, that the offerings are made, the rituals performed, and the spiritual well-being of the kingdom maintained. As you move among the priestesses, you notice how their energy shifts the very atmosphere of the temple. The air feels heavier with their presence, charged with divine energy. They speak softly to one another, their words more like whispers of knowledge shared through the ages. They are not just serving the gods, they are communicating with them, receiving their wisdom in a language beyond words. One of the priestesses, her face radiant with inner peace, steps forward to offer a prayer to Isis, the goddess of wisdom and healing. Her hands are raised, her eyes closed in deep concentration. You can feel the energy in the room shift as she calls upon the goddess. Her voice a soft, melodic chant. The goddess listens, and you sense that the very air around you is filled with the sacred presence of Isis herself. The priestess's connection to the divine is so palpable that it feels as though the goddess is standing right beside her, watching over the temple and the people. The wisdom of the priestesses is not just in their knowledge of the gods, it is in their ability to heal, to guide, and to maintain balance within the kingdom. They are the spiritual leaders of Egypt, the ones who ensure that the God's will is carried out in every aspect of life. You leave the temple with a sense of peace, knowing that the women of Egypt, whether queens, priestesses, or wives, carry within them the power of the gods themselves. The grand festival is about to begin, and the air is charged with excitement and anticipation. The streets of Egypt are alive with the sounds of drums and flutes. As the people gather in celebration of the gods, the festival is not just a feast, it is a sacred act of devotion, a time when the gods are honored through song, dance, and offerings. The rhythm of Egypt's ancient heart beats louder tonight as the land rejoices in divine favor. You stand at the edge of the temple, watching as the priests prepare the sacred space. The altar is adorned with fragrant flowers, and the air is thick with the scent of incense rising in spirals toward the heavens. The gods are near, their presence woven into the very fabric of this sacred occasion. The people gather around, dressed in the finest linens, their faces alight with joy. It is a time for unity, a time for the entire kingdom to come together and honor the divine. As the first notes of music fill the air, you feel the rhythm of the festival pulse through your own body. The drums beat in time with your heart, the flutes whispering ancient melodies that carry the wisdom of the gods. The dancers enter the courtyard, their movements fluid and graceful, a living expression of the divine energy that flows through Egypt. Their bodies move in time with the music, every step an offering, every gesture a prayer. You watch in awe as the festival unfolds, the people of Egypt coming together to celebrate life, the gods, and the eternal rhythm that binds them all. The feast is not just about food, it is about honoring the cycle of life, death, and rebirth that governs the world. The offerings are made, the prayers are spoken, and the gods are invited to partake in the joy of the moment. As the evening progresses, the festival shifts into a more intimate phase. The grand feast is laid out before you, a magnificent spread of food and drink. The air is rich with the scent of roasted meats, fresh fruits, and honeyed pastries. You take your place at the long table, surrounded by the people of Egypt, men, women, and children, all gathered to share in the bounty of the gods. As you eat, you feel the energy of the night rise. The wine flows freely, and the laughter of the people fills the air. It is a celebration of the divine, a time when the boundaries between the mortal and the sacred fade away. The pharaoh, seated at the head of the table, offers a prayer to the gods, giving thanks for the abundance of the harvest and the blessings that have been bestowed upon Egypt. You listen to the prayers of the people, their voices rising in unison as they offer their thanks for the divine gifts they have received. The gods, it seems, are pleased, for the air is filled with a sense of peace and joy. You feel the warmth of the community, the love and reverence shared among the people. It is a moment of connection, not only with each other, but with the divine forests that sustain life. The laughter and music continue long into the night, and you join in, feeling the joy of the festival wash over you. The gods are present, not just in the rituals, but in the joy of the people, in the celebration of life. It is a reminder that the divine is not distant, but woven into every aspect of existence, from the food we eat to the joy we share. As the night deepens, the festival becomes more intimate. The gods are not just honored in grand ceremonies, they are honored in the quiet moments of connection, in the shared laughter and the soft touch of a hand. You feel the divine presence in every glance, in every whisper, in every moment of togetherness. The feast is not just a celebration of abundance, it is a celebration of life itself. And the gods are here, watching, rejoicing with you. As the night draws to a close, the mood shifts, the final offering is prepared, and the gods are invited to witness the renewal of Egypt's sacred cycle. The feast has been a celebration of life, but now, as the stars shimmer above you, the focus turns to rebirth. In Egypt, life and death are intertwined, and the gods are honored not only for the gifts of life, but for the mysteries of death and renewal that follow. The priests gather around the central altar, offering their final prayers to the gods. The flames of the torches flicker, casting long shadows across the stone floor. You stand quietly, feeling the presence of the divine as the ritual reaches its zenith. The gods are called upon to bless the kingdom for another year, to bring prosperity to the land and health to its people. In this moment of stillness, you sense the eternity of the cycle, the feast, the prayers, the rituals all are part of the divine plan, a plan that has been unfolding for centuries, for millennia. You feel the weight of history in this sacred space, the knowledge that the gods have watched over Egypt for as long as time itself. The cycle of life and death continues, ever renewing, everlasting. As the final prayers are spoken, the festival reaches its conclusion. The people, their hearts full, rise from the table and gather in silence around the altar. The gods have been honored and Egypt has been blessed. The feast has ended, but the divine energy lingers in the air, a reminder that the gods are always near, always watching, always guiding. You take a deep breath, feeling the peace of the night settle within you. The gods have given their blessings, and you, too, are a part of the eternal cycle of life, death, and rebirth. The festival has come to an end, but the connection to the divine remains. It is a bond that transcends time, a bond that will carry you forward. As you walk the path of the gods, the temple is still. The grand rituals have come to a gentle halt, and the air, once filled with music, laughter, and the scent of offerings, has now settled into a peaceful silence. The only sound you hear is the soft rustling of the palm leaves in the breeze and the distant murmur of the Nile as it continues its eternal journey. The temple, once vibrant with activity, now holds its breath, waiting for the moment when the gods speak not in rituals, but in the sacred silence that fills the space. The priests and priestesses have retreated, their robes swishing gently as they exit the temple, leaving behind the sanctity of this sacred space. You stand alone now, the weight of the stillness surrounding you, and you feel an odd sense of reverence. It is in this silence that the gods are closest, and it is in this quiet that their presence is felt most profoundly. You step further into the temple, the smooth stone beneath your feet cool against your skin. The walls, adorned with intricate carvings and vibrant frescoes, are now bathed in the soft glow of moonlight. The colors of the gods and the divine stories almost ethereal in the pale light. But it is not the colors or the carvings that draw you in tonight. It is the silence. It is a silence that is not empty, but full, rich with the weight of history and divine presence. As you walk through the temple, you realize that the silence is not a void, but a space of communion. The gods are still here, not in the songs of the priests, not in the grand rituals, but in the stillness. They have chosen this moment to reveal themselves, not through offerings or prayers, but through the quiet peace that fills the temple. You stand in awe, feeling as if the very air around you is charged with divine energy in the absence of sound. You can almost hear the gods' whispers, soft and gentle, guiding you deeper into this sacred space. In this moment of profound silence, you begin to notice something within yourself. Your breath, slow and steady, begins to sync with the quiet pulse of the temple. With each inhale, you feel the weight of the divine presence grow stronger, and with each exhale, you feel more connected to the land, to the gods, to the eternal rhythms of Egypt. The silence deepens, and with it, you feel your thoughts begin to quiet. There is no need for words here, no need for rituals. In the sacred stillness, you are connected to the divine in a way that transcends language. The gods do not need to speak through priests or through offerings. They speak through the silence, through the stillness that is felt within your heart and soul. You close your eyes for a moment, allowing the temple's silence to wash over you completely. It is as if time itself has stopped, and all that exists is this moment, this sacred communion between you and the divine. You can hear your heartbeat, steady and calm, and you realize that it is in perfect harmony with the rhythms of the temple, with the pulse of Egypt itself. You are not just a visitor here, you are part of this ancient land, part of the sacred silence that holds the world together. The gods, it seems, do not need grand ceremonies to be present. They are always near, always waiting for us to listen, not in noise, not in rituals, but in the quiet moments of reflection. You are reminded that the divine is not something distant or unreachable. It is here, within you, within the land, within the stillness. All you need to do is listen, to open your heart to the sacred silence that surrounds you. As you sit in the center of the temple, the silence grows even deeper, It is as if the very walls are holding their breath, and you with them. There is no need for prayer, no need for words. The gods are present in this silence, not as distant figures to be worshipped, but as intimate companions who walk with you through the temple's sacred halls. The quiet is a presence of its own. It is as if the gods are telling you that they are here, not in the grand rituals or the loud prayers, but in the stillness that fills the space. They are in the gentle rustle of the wind outside, in the soft flicker of the candles, in the quiet pulse of your own heart. The divine does not need to shout to be heard. It speaks in the quiet, in the moments when you are still enough to listen. As you sit there, feeling the divine presence all around you, you realize that this silence is not an absence, but a fullness. It is a reminder that the gods are not distant. They are here, in this moment, in the temple, in you. They are present in every breath you take, in every quiet thought you have. The silence is their language, and you are finally learning to understand it. The gods have spoken to you tonight, not through rituals or ceremonies, but through the sacred silence of the temple. You have heard them, not with your ears, but with your heart, and in this moment, you feel at peace, knowing that the divine is always near, always watching, always listening, and that, in the quietest moments, you are never truly alone. You find yourself standing before the eternal flame of the temple, the heart of Egypt's sacred rituals. The flame flickers softly in the dim light, its glow steady and unwavering. It is not just fire, it is a symbol of life, of divine presence, and of the eternal connection between the gods and the people of Egypt. The flame has burned for centuries, and it will continue to burn long after you leave this sacred place. As you approach the altar, the warmth of the flame wraps around you like a soft embrace. The air is thick with the scent of incense, the smoke rising in tendrils that seem to dance with the rhythm of the gods. The flame does not just provide light, it illuminates the path to the divine, guiding those who seek its warmth and wisdom. The flickering light seems to pulse with life, as if it is alive, breathing in time with the heartbeat of the land. You stand before the flame, your heart steady and calm. The gods are present here, their energy woven into the very fabric of the flame. You feel their presence not as a distant force, but as an intimate part of this sacred space. The flame is not merely a symbol, it is a bridge, a connection between the divine and the mortal. It is a reminder that the gods are always near, always watching, always guiding. The priests, who tend to the flame with great reverence, move silently around the altar. Their robes flow like the river Nile, their movements graceful and deliberate. They are the caretakers of this sacred light, ensuring that it never falters, that it never fades. The flame is their charge, and they protect it with their lives. It is a symbol of Egypt's divine favor, a beacon that has guided the kingdom through the ages. You watch as one of the priests steps forward, raising his hands in reverence to the flame. His eyes are closed, his face serene, as he speaks quietly to the gods. His words are not loud, but you feel their weight, their power. In this moment, the entire temple seems to hold its breath, the gods themselves listening to his prayers, his offerings. As you stand before the eternal flame, you are filled with a deep sense of peace. The light, warm and constant, feels like a promise, a covenant between the gods and the people of Egypt. The flame has never gone out, and it never will, for as long as the gods watch over the land. It is a symbol of continuity, of the unbroken connection between Egypt and the divine. You are reminded that this flame is not just a fire, it is a promise, It is a reminder that the gods are always with you, always present, even in the darkest of times. The flame has burned through the ages, enduring all challenges, all changes. It is a testament to the strength of the gods and the resilience of the people who honor them. The priest, his hands still raised in prayer, steps aside, allowing the flame to speak for itself. The warmth of the fire wraps around you, filling you with a sense of connection, of belonging. The light is more than just illumination. It is a source of life, a force that nourishes and protects. As you stand in its glow, you feel the weight of history upon you, but also the lightness of the divine presence that fills the room. You close your eyes for a moment, feeling the sacred energy of the flame surround you. You take a deep breath, allowing the warmth to settle in your chest. The flame speaks to you, not in words, but in feelings. Feelings of peace, of safety, of the divine protection that has been bestowed upon Egypt for millennia. The gods are with you, and their light will guide you, just as it has guided the people of Egypt through the ages. In this sacred space, you realize that the flame is not just a symbol of the past. It is a beacon for the future. It is a reminder that the gods are always watching, always protecting, always guiding. The flame will continue to burn, carrying with it the hopes and prayers of the people of Egypt. Long after this night has passed, as you gaze into the flame, you realize that the light it casts is not just an outward illumination. It is a reflection of something deeper within you. The gods have not only given Egypt the flame as a symbol of their divine presence, they have given it as a reflection of the divine light within every person, each of us. Like the flame, carries a spark of the divine, a light that guides us through the darkness, a light that connects us to the gods and to each other. You reach out, not to touch the flame, but to feel the warmth that radiates from it. The flame does not burn you, it embraces you, filling you with a quiet, steady light that reaches into your heart in this moment. You realize that you are not separate from the gods, you are one with them. The flame is a reminder of the light within you, the divine spark that guides you, that connects you to the sacred rhythms of the world. You feel the warmth of the flame in your chest, and you understand that it is not just a symbol of the God's presence, it is a symbol of your own connection to the divine. The light you feel inside you is the same light that burns in the flame, the same light that fills the temple, the same light that has guided Egypt through the ages. As you stand before the flame, you feel a deep sense of peace. The gods are present, but so too is the divine within you. The flame is not just a distant force to be worshipped. It is a living connection, a reminder that the divine exists within every person, within every breath, within every step. The gods have given you this light, and it is yours to carry with you, to share with the world. As the night deepens and the flames flicker gently, you take one last look at the eternal fire. The warmth remains, the light continues to burn, and you carry with you the promise of the gods, the reminder that their presence is always near. The flame will never die, for as long as Egypt endures, and as long as you carry the light of the gods within you. You find yourself in the vastness of the desert, the final chapter of your journey through Egypt. The sky is a deep, infinite blue, the stars like scattered jewels above you, twinkling with ancient wisdom. The wind, gentle and cool, brushes against your skin, carrying with it the scent of the earth and the promise of something eternal. The desert, as quiet as it is, holds within it a profound peace, a peace that only the vastness of the land can offer. The sand beneath you is soft, and you sink into it gently as you lie down, the cool night air brushing across your face. The land stretches out endlessly, a canvas of shifting dunes and ancient stories, and you feel yourself becoming one with it. The world seems to fall away, leaving only the whisper of the wind, the sound of your own breath, and the soft rustling of the earth. The gods, you feel, are here with you, surrounding you in this sacred silence. You close your eyes for a moment and allow yourself to rest. The desert has no need for words. Its vast silence speaks louder than any chant or prayer. In this quiet, you feel the presence of the divine more clearly than ever before. The gods are not distant. They are right here. In the silence, in the stillness, they are with you, watching over you, guiding you to this moment of peace. And in this moment, you rest, cradled in the embrace of Egypt's desert. The stars above you seem to flicker with ancient light, like beacons in the darkness. You feel a deep sense of comfort, as if the entire desert is holding you in its arms. The gods are not separate from you. They are part of you, part of the land, part of the universe. The desert is their home, their sacred space. And now, in this moment of stillness, it is yours too. The winds that blow through the dunes are not just winds. They are the breath of the gods, the same breath that fills the land, that fills you. As you lie there in the quiet of the desert, a sense of unity envelops you. The land, the sky, the gods, they are all one, and you are a part of them. The desert, in all its vastness, has a way of making you feel both incredibly small and infinitely connected to everything around you. You are a part of this sacred land, this timeless place where the gods once walked, where they still walk in the whispers of the wind and the rustling of the sands. You open your eyes and gaze up at the stars. The constellations of Egypt are familiar to you now, Orion. The belt of stars that was said to represent Osiris, and the vast expanse of the Milky Way, which the ancient Egyptians believed was a pathway to the afterlife. You feel the pull of these stars, not just as distant points of light, but as guides, as markers on the path to understanding, to connection in their light. You see the divine presence of the gods shining down on you, offering their wisdom and protection. The wind picks up again, and you hear its song, soft and soothing, like a lullaby sung by the earth itself. The sound is hypnotic, calming, and you feel yourself drifting further into a deep peace, a quiet communion with the divine. This is the true offering. You realize the offering of silence, of stillness, of connection. The gods do not require grand rituals or elaborate ceremonies. They simply ask for your presence, for your willingness to be still and to listen. In this moment of quiet, you understand that the divine is not found in the grand displays of power, but in the smallest, most intimate moments. The gods are not separate from you. They are part of the very fabric of the world, woven into the earth, the air, the stars, the sand. They are in the quiet of the desert, in the soft rustling of the leaves, in the gentle sway of the palm trees, and they are in you, in your heart, in your breath. You are part of the divine rhythm, part of the sacred dance that has been unfolding since the dawn of time. As the night deepens, you find yourself at peace. The desert, in all its vastness, holds you in its embrace, and the gods watch over you, their presence as constant as the stars above. The silence, once vast and intimidating, is now a comfort, a place where you can hear the pulse of the earth, the rhythm of the gods. It is a place where time does not exist, where the only thing that matters is the breath of the land. the stillness of the air, the quiet of your heart. You feel the connection between yourself and the gods deepen. The sacred space of the desert is not just a place of worship, it is a place of reflection, of communion, of understanding, here in the silence. You are reminded that the divine is not separate from you. It is in everything, in every breath, in every step you take. The gods are within you, guiding you, watching over you, and their light shines brightly in the stillness of the night. The night sky above you is a reminder that the universe is vast, yet intimately connected. The gods, though eternal and vast, are close, and you feel their presence in the quiet. You close your eyes again and allow the peace of the desert to wash over you, filling you with a sense of serenity, of knowing that you are never alone. The gods are always with you, in the silence, in the stars, in the breath of the wind, and tonight, you rest in their embrace, knowing that you are part of something far greater than yourself, something eternal, something divine. The desert holds its breath, and so do you, as the divine energy flows through you, carrying you into the quiet, sacred space where the gods dwell.